Hi, my name is Bill Paul. I'm account executive for Quantum Metric, and this is a Friday fun interview for Scaling Unicorns. Jaime, do you mind introducing yourself?
Hey, Bill. Jaime Safiano. Really excited to be with you today. I'm a team leader on the sales development team here at Quantum Metric.
Well, Jaime, I'm so pumped about this mini interview because, well, one, I had tried to recruit you to Quantum Metric for about 2 years,
Yes.
and you finally joined 4 months ago. But then two, I've always looked at our relationship as one that's like a true example of 1 and 1 equals 3. You hear it all the time, but there just really are relationships that you can form in work, in startups, that when you collaborate with this person, the end results you're going to produce is so much greater than the sum of the parts. And so I'd love for you to just talk about that. Like, why do you think it's worked so well between the two of us over the years?
Bill, it has worked so well. We've had such great success, both at BigCommerce and now here at Quantum Metric. And I think the key is collaboration and being strategic and really communicating very well with each other constantly. And that's a recipe for success. It just works.
Yeah. And I know your role is one so critical to business. You're an SDR, a seasoned SDR. So you were the first person usually having conversations with brands. And one thing you challenged me with is you said, hey, you've done these other videos, but you haven't really talked about the message of Quantum Metric yet.
Right.
And so I'm happy I agreed I'll do it today because I know eventually this message is what got you on board and has led to a tremendous amount of success in just the last 4 months since you've been here. So Quantum Metric, we are a customer experience monitoring platform, but really what makes us so special is we see all the interactions users have across websites and mobile apps, and we are able to identify when someone is frustrated, when there is friction, and then collaborate with all of the data points across everyone that is engaging with that application to understand what the business impact of that friction point is. And inevitably, what we then enable through that is organizational speed to build better products and experiences for their customers, which now more so than ever before is so pivotal to the market because you think about people's lives. We're living in the midst of COVID. We have so much shorter of an attention span, and we need to interact with brands quickly, and we're doing it through websites and mobile apps. And so any sort of point of friction could be costing these organizations a tremendous amount of revenue or time when it comes to having to support people through the contact center. So that's the value proposition. And when I was telling it to you, I remember you're like, yeah, it's pretty cool. But like, when was the point where you're like, no, this is like for real, a big deal?
It's just Quantum Metric. It's a game changer for enterprises. It really, really is a game changer. And it's just a phenomenal platform that really breaks data silos. It just eliminates data silos and it just helps all the divisions come together. And the pandemic is really accelerating digital transformation efforts. So it's a great time to be a part of Quantum.
Yeah, and speaking of that, the two of us are going to be excited about it. Yeah. It's our job to be excited about it, but really this is such an incredible time. Next week, we have Quantum Leap, which is our big annual user conference. And more so than ever, we have over 2,000 people that are going to be attending Leap. Hopefully it's north of 2,500. And the best part about this conference is there's going to be actual practitioners, people that experience the pain of the data silos and the pain of not having a great digital experience for customers who have started to or have actually solved that problem for their customers, because it's always a journey, speaking. And they're going to be telling their stories about how they've done it with us and how they are trying to even further transition towards a more digital and customer experience focused organization in 2021. So it's going to be a can't miss session for anyone who's in digital. And Jaime, I'd love for you to just talk about, what are the sessions that you're most excited attending and hearing from next week?
Yeah, I would say one session is the fireside chat with AT&T's Chief Digital Officer. I mean, when do you get an opportunity to hear firsthand from the Chief Digital Officer of like the largest telecommunications company in the United States? So that one in particular, I'm really excited about. What about
Yeah.
you?
I mean, no doubt that's an exciting one. When you think about thousands of users and someone who is an expert in the space, he came from Best Buy, another organization that had to make this transformation. And of course, working with them every day is such a joy, and it's, you know, it's taxing at times, but seeing the actual outcomes we're producing is unbelievable. The one I am most attached to, I would say, and can't wait to see is the session with American Airlines.
Yeah.
You know, when I think about what's happened during the pandemic, I'm someone who loves to travel. I also used to travel a lot for work. And so flying on American is a personal experience that I have. And seeing what different the airline industry has gone through, as well as hospitality, over the last 12 months is unbelievable. It's incredible that it's happened. And what has been such a joy is seeing how they've been able to pivot. You know, it's clear in the news what's happened to them as a brand and what's happened to them from a revenue standpoint. But what people don't get to see every day is how organizations actually respond to these things at the individual and the leadership level. And so that's what people are going to be able to hear, which is so amazing because ultimately they're going through such a dramatic shift, but everyone's going through some degree of shift. And so I think for any digital expert, it's a can't miss because you can see firsthand, like, how do you respond under pressure, which they've really done beautifully in partnering with us. So I'm pumped about it. And you know, one thing want to just make sure to emphasize, if you're watching this video, if you haven't registered, register for Leap. We're going to have the link at the bottom there. Jaime, why should they register?
Well, first of all, Bill, it's amazing content. So even if you can't attend every session, or even if you can't attend any session, you register and then you have access to all this amazing content on demand. You can watch it whenever you have time to watch it. So that's number one. And number two is just hearing from other thought leaders in the CX and digital transformation space. You know, you've got the Chief Experience Officer of Under Armour. You know, you've got head of e-commerce for Forever 21. I mean, there's a ton of amazing speakers at this event. So
yeah, it's going to be fun. And this is an inflection point, not only for all these digital teams, but for Quantum in general. So whether you are a digital expert or just really passionate about seeing startups as they grow, it's a event that you cannot miss. So Jaime, thank you so much. Happy Friday. Have an awesome weekend. And let's keep having a big year in 2021.
Yes, love it.